సార్కి చెప్పండి మ్యామ్.
కాదు 11:40కి సార్ది ఇచ్చామమ్మా.
అదే మ్యామ్.
కదా
మ్యామ్.
అందుకే సార్ 11:30కి అని అన్నారు. నేను చెప్తాను సార్, జాయిన్ అయ్యి అనౌన్స్ చేసినప్పుడు సరే అని చెప్తాను.
ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే.
రిజిస్టర్ సార్ లేరు కదా, అందుకే ముందుకు వచ్చేస్తుంది ఇంకా.
ఓకే మ్యామ్. ఓకే.
ఓకేనా?
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
Yeah, ma'am. 5 minutes, ma'am. We will start the program.
Okay, madam.
Hello, ma'am.
Ma'am.
Ma'am, am I audible?
కొంచెం వాయిస్ బ్రేక్ వస్తుంది మ్యామ్.
Only break.
ఇప్పుడు కొంచెం బెటర్ ఉంది.
Is it okay?
Good morning, Jeevan Jyoti garu.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Prashantina.
Sir, also. Sir, Mutyam Reddy, sir, Sudarshan Reddy, sir, ma'am. Good morning, sir.
Prashantina?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Prashanti, nana gurtupatinra?
Sir.
Really?
But 10, sir. Sir.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Jeevan Jyoti, ma'am,
మేడం కొంచెం బ్రేక్ వస్తుంది వాయిస్.
still break, ma'am.
Better, ma'am.
Is it okay, ma'am?
Now it is okay.
It's fine.
Ma'am, just 2 minutes, we will going to start, ma'am.
DC garu vachara?
Sir, 10 minutes lo join.
Okay, amma.
Sir.
Yeah.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Is it audible?
Yes, it is audible, madam. And Mucham Reddy sir is joining in 2 minutes.
Yeah, ma'am. We will start by 11:05, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Madam Prashant, madam, good morning. Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Ramesh, sir, good morning.
Is it audible?
Yes, sir. Very clear.
Okay, fine, fine.
Okay, sir. Annapurna, ma'am. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. It's me, Dr. Sridhar, from Department of Chemistry, MAHATMA University.
Good morning, sir. Hello, Sweta. Are you there?
Good morning, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yeah, ma'am. Okay.
లేదు అది సాఫ్ట్ ఇప్పుడే కాదు సిన్స్ వి డిడ్ంట్ గెట్ ఎనఫ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫామ్ దే స్టిల్ వెయిటింగ్ సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ రెడీ పెట్టుకోండి సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ రెడీ ఇంకా దిస్ వాజ్ బై టుడే ఆఫ్టర్నూన్ రెడీ టు బై
కంప్లీట్ అయిందా పని
ఆ కేబుల్ ఆయన జాయిన్ చేయట కదా అంత ఓకే కదా వెంకటరెడ్డి సార్ కూడా ఇప్పుడు వస్తానట్టు అవునవును అవునవును నీదే ఇంపార్టెంట్ నీది ఫైనల్
Hello, ma'am. Hello, Jeevan Jyoti, ma'am.
మేడం సార్
Shall we
కోసం వెయిట్
start?
చేస్తున్నాం మ్యామ్, ముత్యంరెడ్డి సార్ కోసం.
Yeah, ma'am.
కాల్ చేశాను మ్యామ్, ఇప్పుడే ఒక 2 minutes లో జాయిన్ అవుతాను అన్నారు.
గెస్ట్ స్పీకర్స్ కూడా ఇప్పుడే వస్తారా అమ్మా?
అవును సార్, అంటే మనకి ఇది వీసీ సార్ ది మెసేజ్ అయినాక లెక్చర్ స్టార్ట్
అదే ఈ
అవుతుంది.
బ్రీఫ్ ఇనాగ్రల్ సెషన్ అయిన తర్వాత వస్తారా?
అవును సార్.
అచ్చా.
Sir,
Is
they will
actual
attend, sir.
గా-
They will attend for inaugural, sir.
అచ్చా, గుడ్. యాక్చువల్ గా జీవన్ జ్యోతి అండ్ ప్రశాంతి,
సార్
దిస్ వండర్ఫుల్ థీమ్. యాక్చువల్ గా మీరు దిస్ బ్రాడ్ థీమ్, అండర్ బ్రాడ్ థీమ్ లైక్ దిస్ సైన్స్
Thank
అండ్ టెక్నాలజీ, you can really organize any number of programs.
Yes, sir.
ఎస్ సార్.
And my suggestion is we can have one on developments in the last 75 years in the field of science and technology as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav.
Yes, sir.
ఎస్ సార్.
In fact, ఇది only science వాళ్ళకే పరిమితం కాదు. You can involve social science teachers also and make social science students also to attend these sessions.
Sure.
ఓకే
sir.
సార్.
There is a lot to know what happened in this area in India between 1947 and 2022.
Yes, sir.
You can just look at the developments in this area. Now that this is the first beginning, first collaborative effort కాబట్టి ఆ దిశగా ఒకటి ఆలోచించండి.
ఓకే సార్.
Sir.
ఎందుకంటే యూ కెన్ ఫోకస్ ఆన్ ఫ్రాంటియర్ ఏరియాస్ ఆఫ్ సైన్స్. అది బాగా ఇప్పటి జనరేషన్స్ కి బాగా యూజ్ అవుతుంది.
షూర్ సార్.
Ma'am.
సార్ మేడం.
Okay.
మ్యామ్ సార్ ఇంకా జాయిన్ అవ్వలేదు, మనం స్టార్ట్ చేద్దామా మేడం మరి?
Okay. Sir will join soon.
ఓకే.
Sir.
వీసీ గారు రావాలేమో.
Sir వస్తారు సార్ 11:15 కల్లా జాయిన్ అవుతారు.
రిజిస్ట్రార్.
A very good morning to all. Welcome to the webinar on recent trends in science and technology. Is jointly organizing by Department of Chemistry, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda, and Department of Chemistry, RBVR, or Women's College, Narenguda, Hyderabad. At the outset, my sincere and heartfelt thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Gopal Reddy, Sir, respected Registrar, Sir, Professor G. Krishna Rao, Sir, for giving a wonderful opportunity to conduct this program. And my special thanks to Secretary, Sir, Mucham Reddy, Sir, Sudarshan Reddy, Sir, Principal, Ma'am, and Head of the Department of Chemistry, Reddy Women's College, Hyderabad. And I also extend my sincere thanks to our respected Principal, Ma'am, Dr. Annapurna R.S. Puttigaru, and Head of the Department, Dr. D. Ramesh, Sir, and my colleagues of the Department of Chemistry for contributing and giving permission to organize this event. And finally, my beloved students of Department of Chemistry and Pharmaceutical Chemistry for their valuable participation in the event. And my special thanks to respected resource persons, Dr. Sharda Ma'am,
You come after
Scientist F, International Advanced Research Center for Powder, Metallurgy and New Materials, ARCA, Hyderabad, and Dr. Talluri Narendra Kumar Garu, Head AR&D, Diacell Chiral Technologies, for giving their kind consent to deliver the lectures on this great gathering. We know that we exist in a rapidly changing and turbulent world. Developments in technology and science have caused major changes to the traditional systems. So it is essential for organization to look ahead. In view of this, the webinar on recent trends in science and technology is organizing collaboratively to explore the knowledge to the student fraternity. Thank you once again for this great gathering. Now it's time to invite today's guests on this virtual platform. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Jeevan Jyoti Ma'am, Head of the Department, Reddy Women's College, Narenguda, Hyderabad, Program Convener. Please, ma'am. Next, I invite Dr. D. Ramesh, sir, Head of the Department, Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda. Sir, thank you, sir. And I invite Dr. J. Ashuta Devi, ma'am, Principal of Reddy Women's College, Hyderabad. Thank you, ma'am. And I invite Dr. Annapurna R.S. Puttigaru, Principal, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda. I invite Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, Secretary and Correspondent of Reddy Women's College, Hyderabad. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Professor K. Mutyam Reddy, sir, Secretary, HMVS, Hyderabad. It's my pleasure to invite Professor T. Krishna Rao, sir, Registrar of Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda. And it's my sincere pleasure to invite our Honorable Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy, sir. Thank you very much for all the guests on this virtual platform for your valuable participation. And before proceeding to the event, I request Mrs. Sweta, Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, to sing a prayer song. Over to Sweta.
Good morning, ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes.
Ambujavasini sundari vani Saraswati Devi Namostute Ambujavasini sundari vani Saraswati Devi Namostute Pustakadharini Bodhi Pradayani Veena Pani Trinayani Pahi Veda Shastra Nuti Vidhi Priya Chobhage Vidya Varidhi Pahi Pahi Ambujavasini Sundari Vani Saraswati Devi Namostute Saraswati Devi Namostute. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Sweta. Thank you. Now it's time to give messages by honorable guests on this virtual platform. It's my pleasure to invite Dr. V. Jeevan Jyoti Ma'am, Head Department of Chemistry from Reddy Women's College, Narenguda, Hyderabad. Please, ma'am, over to Jeevan Jyoti Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected dignitaries, Professor Gopal Reddy, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi University, Professor T. Krishna Rao, sir, Registrar, Mahatma Gandhi University, Professor K. Mutyam Reddy, sir, Secretary, HMVS, Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, Secretary and Correspondent of Reddy Women's College, Dr. Annapurna Madam, Principal, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. Achyuta Devi Madam, Principal of our college, Dr. D. Ramesh, sir, Head Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. C. Kavita Madam, Vice Principal of our college, respected guest speakers, Dr. B.V. Sharada Madam, Scientist, Center for Nanomaterials, ARCI, and Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar Saluri, sir, Head AR&D, Knowledge Management, Diesel Chiral Technologies, Hyderabad. Dear colleagues and my dear students, a very good morning. It gives me immense pleasure and I feel honored and privileged to got an opportunity to collaborate with Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University in organizing a one-day webinar on recent trends in science and technology. On this occasion, I would like to highlight about our department. Department of Chemistry is as old as the college, which was started in 1954. Presently, we are offering UG, PG and PhD programs. The department is supported by 19 well-experienced faculty members, which includes 2 research supervisors. We as nodal department started forensic science at undergraduate level in the year 2014. We are also offering 9 certificate courses. We have equipped laboratories and a centralized research instrumentation lab equipped with sophisticated instruments like UV visible, FTIR, and fluorescence spectrophotometers. We also provide analytical services to other colleges. Department has MOU with 16 recognized research and academic institutions. Department is recognized as Research Center by Usmania University in the year 2017 for conducting research leading to the degree of PhD and also for MSc student projects. We regularly conduct seminars, faculty development programs, workshops to upgrade the standard of teaching and learning. We have a student faculty club Curie to promote experiential and participative knowledge to our students through club activities. I once again thank Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, especially Dr. Prashanti Madam, for collaborating with us in organizing this wonderful webinar on recent trends in science and technology. Thanks once again for the opportunity. Over to you, ma'am. Shanti, ma'am.
Hello. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Hello. Ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Thank you for your valuable message about the department and gathering. Now, it's my pleasure. I request Dr. D. Ramesh, sir, Head Department of Chemistry, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda. Sir, over to Ramesh, sir.
Yeah. Good morning, ma'am. Is it audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So good morning to one and all. Today's chief guest, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy Garu, our respected Registrar, Professor T. Krishna Rao Garu, and Professor K. Muttam Reddy Garu, Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy Garu, and Principal Dr. Annapurna R.S. Bhutti Madam Garu, and Dr. J. Achyuta Devi Garu, Madam Garu, and today's eminent speakers, Dr. B.V. Sharada Madam Garu, Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar Garu, and finally, today's webinar conveners, Dr. Y. Prashant Madam Garu, Dr. V. Jeevan Jyoti Madam Garu, and all the faculty members and my dear students and participants, and whole on behalf of Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda, I welcome you all wholeheartedly to the webinar on recent trends in science and technology. I appreciate the participants for participation in the webinar. In spite of their hectic schedule, today the expertised, eminent speakers given their valuable time for us. So their lectures are more useful and valuable to update your knowledge. I also appreciate the webinar conveners for conducting this kind of useful programs. I thanks to the Honorable Vice Chancellor sir and respected Registrar sir for giving their valuable time for us. And thank you one and all.
Thank
Over
you,
to
sir.
Prashant Madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your valuable message for this gathering. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Kavita ma'am, Vice Principal. Hello, ma'am. Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Kavita, ma'am.
Ma'am, over to Kavita ma'am.
Respected dignitaries.
Hello, ma'am.
Jeevan Jyoti, yeah. Am I audible?
Ma'am, the voice is a little bit low, madam.
Hello.
Yeah, am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible now.
A little bit, ma'am, louder, little bit, please.
Yeah, sure. Respected dignitaries, Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi University, Professor T. Krishna Rao Garu, Registrar, Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. Annapurna Ma'am, Principal, University College for Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, Dr. D. Ramesh Garu, Head Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, Professor Muttam Reddy Garu, Secretary, Hyderabad Mahila Vidya Sangam, Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy Garu, Secretary cum Correspondent, RBVRR Women's College, resource persons, participants, and dear colleagues. A warm welcome to all of you. It is indeed an important occasion for us today that the Department of Chemistry, RBVRR Women's College, and Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University are collaborating in organizing today's webinar. In today's uncertain times, it becomes imperative that higher educational institutions come together and partner with each other. Such kind of partnerships, collaborations are not just meaningful and relevant, but they're also imperative. They create a kind of synergy that higher educational institutions have not seen before. Such kind of collaborations facilitate people connecting with one another, institutions sharing knowledge with one another, institutions realizing opportunities that exist that they were not aware of earlier. Such kind of collaborations would also help us in increasing our internal competencies, in leveraging our specializations. So what we are doing today, I'm sure, is is going to play a very key role in what we as two higher education institutions are going to do in the future. So coming to our college, RBVRR Women's College has a history of more than 7 decades. In fact, it is the second oldest women's college in the city of Hyderabad. It owes its existence to the foresight of Sri Rajabahadur Venkat Ramareddy, who was a Kotwal of the erstwhile Hyderabad state. From a modest beginning, today we can boast of 3,000 students who are pursuing 17 undergraduate and 5 postgraduate programs that are offered in the college. We have more than 100 well-qualified faculty members, more than 30 state-of-the-art science laboratories, computer laboratories. We have ICT-enabled classrooms, fully functional NCC and NSS units, and many more. However, we still feel that there is a long way for us. We are going for our 5th cycle of NAAC reaccreditation very sure. So I am sure collaborations like these with an institution like Mahatma Gandhi University would benefit us immensely. And at the same time, we sincerely hope that we can share our expertise, our resources to Mahatma Gandhi University for their benefit. So I'm really looking forward for such kind of collaborations in future. And finally, I would like to congratulate the program conveners, Dr. Y. Prashanti, Chairperson, Board of Studies, Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, and Dr. V. Jeevan Jyoti, Head, Department of Chemistry, RBVRR Women's College, for organizing this program. All the best and thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable message about this great gathering. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Annapurna RSPT, ma'am, Principal, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda, to give a message on this gathering. Ma'am, over to Annapurna, ma'am.
Good morning to all the dignitaries present, virtually present on webinar. Good morning to Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy, Sir, of Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda, and respected Registrar, Sir, T. Krishna Rao, Sir, and Professor K. Mutyam Reddy, Secretary for HMVS, Hyderabad, and Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy, Secretary and Correspondent for RBVRR Women's College, Hyderabad. And I also would like to welcome fellow guest of honors, that is Dr. J. Achyuta Devi, ma'am, and also Dr. Kavita. I think she's the Vice Principal, just now she spoke for the college, that is the Women's College, Reddy Women's College, and Dr. D. Ramesh, sir, our HOD. And I would like to take this opportunity to welcome the guest speakers, that is Dr. B.V. Sharda, ma'am, Scientist Hef from Center of Nanomaterials, ARCI, Hyderabad, and Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar Thaluri, Head HRD and Knowledge Management, Dysel Chiral Technologies, Hyderabad. I congratulate the conveners, Dr. Y. Prashanti, and from our department, that she's CBOS here, and I'd like to congratulate Dr. V. Jeevan Jyoti, Head Department of RBVRR College, Women's College. So, and I will welcome the fellow faculties and dear students from both the institutions for the program. So, topic for this webinar is recent trends in science and technology. As we know, science and technology are ever evolving. So, seminars of this kind have to be conducted regularly to update the knowledge of faculty as well as students, and to make everyone aware what's going in these fields. So as we know, science never dies. Coming to technology, technology evolves, though. If technology, if used properly, will do good. If not, it has its own pros and cons. The best example I would give for the smartphone, if we use it for utility purpose, it is good. If not, if we use it for entertainment and games without limit of time underlined, it causes a lot of damage to career and health, especially in case of students. Hence, limiting the usage of time is a must for students. So regarding my college it's a wonderful college in Mahatma Gandhi University. We have 7 courses offered here, and we have very good faculty running the college. Okay, with this I end my talk. Thanks to the organizers for giving me the time and opportunity to talk. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am, for your valuable message regarding the gathering and the department and the college. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now it's my pleasure to invite Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, Secretary and Correspondent of Raj Bahadur Venkatram Reddy Women's College, Hyderabad. Sir, please welcome, sir.
Yeah, very good morning to one and all.
Good morning, sir.
Let me at the outset thank the organizers for inviting me to be part of this program. And firstly, to me, this is something like reunion with Mahatma Gandhi University. So I retired in 2017 from Osmania University as professor of history. Before that, I was very closely associated with Mahatma Gandhi University as part of the inspection teams. And good number, I know very closely, good number of faculty members, like how this present principal of University College of Science, Dr. Annapurna, she may not recognize me now, and this Prashanti, and one more madam from, I do not remember her name, from chemistry department, and Dr. Anji Reddy from economics, then Raju from business management, and a couple of others. So this is good that because of this collaborative effort, I came into contact once again with the teachers and the university, Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda. I am very, very happy for that. And firstly, this is happening because of the initiative taken by the respected Vice Chancellor, Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy Garu, my erstwhile colleague in Osmania University, and Professor T. Krishna Rao, Registrar, and Professor K. Mutyam Reddy Garu, who was for some time part of Mahatma Gandhi University. Now he is Secretary of Hyderabad Mahila Vidya Sangam, and my boss here. So I also congratulate the principal, Dr. Annapurna, Dr. Achita Devi of Reddy Women's College, and Vice Principal Kavita. Then I must congratulate the 2 conveners, Dr. Prashanti and Dr. Jeevan Jyoti, for this initiative, for taking forward this collaborative effort started a few days back between Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda, and Raja Bahadur Venkatram Reddy Women's College, Hyderabad. So I was just now talking to Prashanti and Jeevan Jyoti. This theme, the science and technology, is a broad area under which one can organize any number of webinars and seminars and discussions, because this is a huge theme. There are wonderful developments in this country in this particular area, because we are now in 75th year of, we are inching towards 75th year of India's independence. And I deem I deem this program as part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. So from, let us say, from 75th year onwards, you can take this program forward by inviting specialists on various aspects of science and technology, and take forward this collaborative efforts between the two institutions. So I once again congratulate, firstly thank the Vice Chancellor, sir, the Registrar, and both the principals, and these two very active conveners being part of chemistry, respective chemistry departments. And I welcome this initiative, and whatever support they require as part of this activity, we are with them. And I also expect same kind of spirit and support from the Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University, the Registrar, and other dignitaries also. So I thank the organizers for inviting me to be part of this program. And on behalf of Rajabadu Venkatramreddy Women's College, I also welcome the two guest speakers, today's guest speakers, Dr. B.V. Sharada and Dr. Narendra Kumar Talluri. And I conclude my my speech by once again congratulating the two conveners and other dignitaries involved in organizing this program. Thank you one and all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you
Over
so
to
much.
Prashant.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable message regarding this gathering, and very inspirable message, sir. Definitely, we will going to conduct many more programs with the support of our respected head of the department, Dr. D. Ramesh, sir, and our principal, ma'am, and the same team from you and college team, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Now, it's my pleasure to invite Professor K. Mutyam Reddy, sir, Secretary HMVS Hyderabad and former Registrar of Mahatma Gandhi University, Nalgonda. Sir, please welcome, sir.
Hello.
Sir, good morning, sir.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning, sir.
Sir,
Good morning.
sir, audible, sir.
Okay,
Good morning,
I am
sir.
audible. I am audible. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Professor Gopal Reddy Garu, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Mahatma Gandhi University. My good friend, Krishna Rao Garu, Registrar of the University. And Professor Sudarshan Reddy Garu, the Secretary and Correspondent of RBVRR Women's College. And principals of the both colleges, and invitees, guest speakers. Yeah, it's my pleasure. It gives me pleasure this morning. Yeah, because of two reasons. I am related to both the institutions. Mahatma Gandhi University and RBVRR Women's College, sponsored by Hyderabad Mahila Vidya Sangam. So by name, both the institutions are historical ones. One is named after Mahatma Gandhi, the father of the nation, and the other is named after Rajabahadur Venkatramreddy, a reformist, who always bothered about giving, to empower the woman. Though we cannot compare Mahatma Gandhi with Rajabahadur Venkatramreddy, but both are historical persons. Rajabahadur Venkatramreddy is always, as I said in the beginning, wanted and wished to empower the woman by giving education. And throughout his life, he tried for that. There is no institution without whose initiation established in Hyderabad. So that way, both are historical. Raj Bahadur Venkatrama Reddy Institute and also Mahatma Gandhi. And yes, Mahatma Gandhi University has given me an opportunity to participate in its initial development as founder registrar. And presently, I am Honorary Secretary of Hyderabad Mahila Vidya Sangam, which has 4 institutions. Though the society established in 1954, but the roots of the institution has in 1928, when a school called Narayanaguda High School, presently called as Madapati Hanumantarao School, there was a school committee, and that school committee ultimately converted into Hyderabad Mahila Vidya Sangam in 1954. So the other institution is this college, Hyderabad Raj Bahadur Venkatrama Reddy Women's College and Raj Bahadur Venkatrama Reddy Pharmacy College and KV Rangareddy Women's Hostel. These are the 4 institutions under the management of Hyderabad Mahila Vidya Sangam. So this, so all this gives me really is a pleasure when I see both the institutions. I'm concerned. And when it comes to the topic, recent trends in science and technology. Yeah, it has its own science and technology, has its own history. And Professor Sudhar Shetty knows it. Both are inseparable. Science and technology, they are inseparable. But we can say that the science is mother of technology, though technology is applied science. So technology is, I think, the application of science. And in between, to continue the science and technology creates some devices, the devices which can help in solving the problems and doing challenges, reaching goals, etc. But at the same time, there is one another subject, mathematics. That is a tool without which the developments in science and also the creation of devices not possible. So that way, these are the mathematics plays that important role. So, of course, I am not an authority to say these things, but a little knowledge I have, and speaking from that knowledge. So anyway, without taking much time of you, I congratulate both the departments, chemistry department Raj Bahadur Venkataramaredi Women's College, and also the Chemistry Department of Mahatma Gandhi University. And so the organizing this kind of webinar is not possible without the acceptance of the authorities of both the institutions. So that way, I also thank the Registrar and Vice Chancellor of Mahatma Gandhi University and the Principal and Secretary Correspondent of the RBVRR Women's College. So I once again congratulating both the departments, take leave of you. Thank you very much. I wish the webinar all the success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable message regarding on recent trends in science and technology, which really reflects the exploration of the student and faculty fraternity, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Now, it's my pleasure to invite today's chief guest of the program, our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor C.H. Gopal Reddy, sir. I request you to give a brief message on this gathering. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Prashanti.
Sir, thank you,
sir. Of course, our registrar is not here because of some reason he could not attend this program. Professor Mutyam Reddy, sir, Secretary HMVS Hyderabad. Professor G. Sudarshan Reddy, sir, Secretary and Correspondent, RBVRR Women's College, Hyderabad. Madam Achyuta Devi, Principal, RBVRR Women's College. And our Head Department of Chemistry, Dr. D. Ramesh, Dr. Prashanti, of course, other distinguished guests, today's resource persons, my own colleagues in the university, and teachers from RBVRR Women's College. Of course, I'm very happy to be part of this program. I think this is the first webinar being conducted after an MOU signed between Mahatma Gandhi University and RBVRR Women's College. I know about RBVRR Women's College. I was the registrar there. So it is one of our, at least Osman University's very prestigious college, an autonomous college, doing so many things, particularly for the cause of women's education and empowerment of women. Coming to this conference, is very, I think, very broad kind of field chosen. Science and technology, there is no limit to talk actually, and sometimes we don't know what to talk. So that is recent trends in science and technology. Of course, trends are there for so many years, for last 50 years at least. When we were children, when we were going to school, we know what kind of technology was there. I know now what kind of technology is there. There is a lot of difference, so much of actually advancement of technology, and all these advancements were made possible by the science only. Just now Mutyam Reddy sir was saying that science is the mother of actually technology. That is true, 100% true. Science has created technology, and fruits of technology we are now enjoying. All the comforts we are now having, all those actually whatever advantages we are having. This is, at least this webinar, you can see now sitting at our own places, we are able to talk, we are able to share our views. This is again made possible due to technology only. So there is actually so much of technological advancement is there, which is being used by the mankind in so many actually areas, taking from communication to medical field to healthcare. Everywhere the technology is being used. And earlier, when in the around 40 years back or so, actually there was a clear line was there between, for example, life sciences, physical sciences, mathematical sciences kind of thing, and engineering kind of thing. There was no, almost we were having a feeling that there is no linkage. between these different areas, and all of these areas were actually treated independently and individually. But now we are now talking about interdisciplinary approach, multidisciplinary approach. Just now, Muthyavanedi sir is mentioning about the mathematics, for example, statistics. Now, even the life sciences people are now using the mathematics and statistics. A separate discipline has come that is called as biostatistics. So now there is no actually separate lines are there. All of them have become interlinked and intertwined. So that's the reason why even the NEP also is talking about the multidisciplinary approach, multidisciplinary institutions. We know that earlier our institutions, our universities were multidisciplinary. For example, Usman University, if we take, Usman University was having once upon a time even the agriculture, medical, every college was under Usman University. There was no separate university called technological university. So we now actually we are having a separate horticultural university, separate to what we call the veterinary university kind of thing. But now the NEP is talking about multidisciplinary approach, realizing the fact that there is now there is no difference. Actually, we cannot separate these fields. One field, actually, one area requires the knowledge in the other area. Of course, it is a broad subject. We know how much of technological advancement is now there. When we were in the school, when we were even in intermediate, even in when we were in graduation during 1980s, we have never imagined that there is something is going to come which is called as internet. It is altogether surprise to us when we came to know that there is some technology is called as internet, with which we can at least communicate. Some kind of emails were the first actually advantages we have experienced. So technology, and we have never imagined that we were knowing only about the landline kind of thing, phone. But now, our smartphone phones have come, cell phones, smartphones, everything is there in our palm now. Just within minutes, we can access anything and everything from our smartphones also. So, and this is being widely used now. And so much of, similarly in the medical field also, for example. Earlier, when some person gets some kind of, let us say, heart problem or so, no, doctors used to resort to only open what we call the heart surgery. But now the technology is changed. The technology has made it possible to avoid actually the open heart surgeries. And within 1 hour or so, this heart, some kind of stents are being used now. So much of other things have come, and now in the science, at least, it is the era of nanotechnology, and there are so many advantages of nanotechnologies now. So we are experiencing all the advantages, and this is not going to stop. Technology, science and technology is ever going to advance. I think the trend is continuous. The trend is always what we call the advancement of science and technology. So I think it's a very broader field. I don't know. We could have conducted 2 days or 3 days kind of program to completely understand what are the recent trends in science and technology. Within 1 day, I think it's a limited period to us anyway. But anyway, I wish the organizers, particularly our chemistry department and the RBVRR college, all the best in successfully. Actually, I wish the webinar all the success. And I'm sure that in future also we will conduct. Instead of taking a broader subject like this, I think we can think of conducting a kind of physical seminar, or let us say workshop kind of thing on certain specified or special kind of area, so that I think we can focusly discuss about the issues of that area. Anyway, I wish the webinar all the best. Thank you for inviting me, and thank you very much. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Muthyavanedi sir.
Sir, Gopal Reddy garu, thank you very much.
Sir,
You
thank
made
you, sir.
made it.
Thank you, sir. Sudarshan sir, unnada sir? Vachina sir?
Unnadu.
Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for collaborating with us and conducting this webinar. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, both the institutions have good future.
Yes, sir. And this is also your institution, Mahatma Gandhi.
Yeah, so that's how I also feel that it's my
Yes.
the earlier budding university in the beginning. Yeah, the kind of okay things.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable and inspirational message. So it's my pleasure to announce on this platform that a lot of support and strength is given by our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sir, Professor Gopal Reddy, sir, in exploring in science and technology and in other academics and research activities for the student fraternity and faculty. And under your able leadership, sir, definitely we will do the best to the department, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thanks. All the best.
Thank you, sir. Now, it's my pleasure to invite today's guest speaker, Dr. B.V. Sharda Ma'am, Scientist Chef, Center for Nanomaterials and ARCI, Hyderabad. And before that, I invite Ms. P. Krishna faculty, RBVR Women's College, to introduce today's guest speaker, Sharda Ma'am. Over to Krishna Ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Am I audible, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Thank
Clear,
you,
ma'am.
Prashant. Yeah. A pleasant and a graceful morning to one and all. This is Srujna.
Little bit loud.
Okay. This is Srujna, Assistant Professor, Department of Chemistry and Forensic Science, RBVRR Women's College. I feel privileged and excited to introduce our guest speaker, Dr. B.V. Sharada Ma'am, for today's one-day national webinar on recent trends in science and technology. Dr. Sharada Ma'am is currently a scientist at Center for Nanomaterials, International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials, Hyderabad. She has obtained her PhD from the University of Tokyo, Japan in the year 2000. She has received the prestigious JSPS Fellowship during her PhD and postdoctoral program. She has also worked as JST Research Fellow. She has received Women Scientist Research Fellowship after returning to India, and after which she has joined in ARCI. She has published more than 70 papers in national and international journals and 6 book chapters. Her areas of research interest include solar energy conversion technologies, energy storage materials for battery, and supercapacitor applications, conducting diamond electrochemistry and nanostructured materials and coating for biomedical implants. She has 10 Indian as well as international patents to her credit. She is also coordinating the research group working on technologies for biomedical implants and devices at ARCI. She has been elected as Fellow of Telangana Academy of Sciences in the year 2020. She is an editorial board member of Scientific Reports Journal from Nature Publishing Group. She is a member of Materials Research Society of India and Electrochemical Society of India. With this brief intro, I invite you, Sharada ma'am, to enlighten us today with your lecture. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Krishna ma'am.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for the nice introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. First of all, a very good morning. I still have 4 minutes before 12. So can you see the my slides?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
So just
Slide
1 minute.
share, ma'am.
I'll take it to my first slide.
Slide share, ma'am.
Yeah. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So very good morning to all. Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Gopal Reddy Garu and the other dignitaries who are a part of this online program. And first, I would like to thank all the organizers, both from BRR College, Women's College and Mahatma Gandhi University, and especially Dr. Prashanti
who has been continuously in touch with me. So today's topic is for my presentation or lecture is technologies for energy conversion and storage. So it goes well with the topic of today's webinar, recent trends in science and technology. I completely agree with what Honorable Vice Chancellor has just mentioned. Science is vast, but we take some of the topics of our research interest and our expertise right from what we study at our bachelor's course or master's course, and then we continue with the PhD. So here I'll be mentioning on energy conversion and storage technologies, since Dr. Prashanti mentioned that we also have pharmaceutical chemistry students. I will be showing a slide or two which will be of importance for them. So otherwise it will be a mixture of, see, when it comes to research, it is not just one chemistry, physics, or a material science or a medical science. It's a combination of all of them, especially when you go for a technology. Now, I first want to introduce my institute, which is International Advanced Research Center for Powder Metallurgy and New Materials, known as ARCI, located at Hyderabad. It is an autonomous institute under Department of Science and Technology, and we work with a mandate of translating research into technology and transfer it to Indian industries. So since last 25 years, since its inception, ARCI has transferred several technologies where we started from the laboratory scale, moved to pilot scale, and transferred to Indian industry. So we have 11 centers of excellence, as you can see over here, and I'm a part of both nanomaterials and solar energy materials center. And you can see over here, as the madam who was introducing me, I'm also coordinating the biomedical group over here, which consists of scientists from all these departments, and we work for the biomedical applications where materials are required. So we don't go into the biomedical part, but since our expertise is in the materials, so we make the materials, for example, like implants or drug-eluting coatings on the implants for the biomedical applications. And we are working with some of the industries and institutes like Sri Chitra Tirunal Institute of Medical Sciences. So, and nanomaterials are very important for most of the applications in energy conversion, storage, or the biomedical sciences, as you can see in a few of my next slides. So as I said, I belong to both nanomaterials and solar energy materials, and I've been continuing with my research in these two fields mainly, other than the biomedical sciences. And I completely agree with our Honorable Vice Chancellor who said that science is the beginning. Okay, where the discovery happens and we explain why it has happened and we predict all the natural phenomena. However, it is left just with a publication or patenting, and the continuation of this invention, which science does, has to transform into a technology where scientists, engineers, management people, everybody is required. So for the science and invention, the beginning is what? A requirement from the society. As he mentioned, from a landline, we have moved to this technology where I am sitting in my room, in my office, and talking to all of you. So how it has evolved, where I saw a big book size mobile phone, a very thin, now foldable mobile phones are also coming. So how technology has evolved, and for that science is the base. And now technology has evolved, product has come out, but there is a necessity for a finer application or a finer appliance. So again, the society asks science for invention. So first is invention, next is innovation, and the application and transfer of technology. As I was mentioning, ARCI does mostly the invention, innovation, and transfer to technology. You can see over here, the last 3 to 4 years, we have developed mostly for solar energy conversion and materials over here and transferred to different industries. So what we do is we started the lab scale where we work on only 1 centimeter square electrode area, for example, in case of either a supercapacitor or a battery. Then we move on to the larger scale deposition, and here the engineering part comes into picture. So the scientists and the engineers work together. So now I'm both a science person and an engineer. Okay. Now we see how to make a prototype. Then we discuss with the industry. There also management comes into picture. So we are, every person is together in all these research. Why I'm speaking to you all these things is now you are going to go into different fields, and you will also be working on different sciences and how each science or anything, any application oriented research, how it has to evolve. You will be seeing over here. You can see this big supercapacitor which is made at ARCI, and this started with a 1 centimeter square electrode. We have proved that it works well, and then we moved on to making a roll, and that is rolled, and then lot of chemistry is required for each step of these. So any of these battery related or energy storage or energy conversion technologies, what is important is chemistry. Of course, all the subjects, other subjects are also important, but starting from the nature of the material or the element, whether it is metal or ceramic or polymer, how its properties can be tuned in order to get the properties in the electrode, what is required to show the best performance. So now coming to energy conversion and storage, you will be surprised to see over here that most of the 51% of the energy is used only for thermal applications, that is either cooling or heating. And transport uses 32%, and power related applications are only 17%. So this surprises everybody. But however, even for the cooling and heating applications, we need a lot of energy. So 10% of it comes from the renewable energy sources, and with the fossil fuels decreasing and lot of pollution being produced, now the renewable energy sources are encouraged all over the world. And what are all the sources of renewable energy? Sunlight, which gives solar energy, wind energy from rain, tides, and geothermal heat also we can produce the energy. So I take only an example of sunlight because I worked in that field. Because if we go on work, speaking on science, it is vast. Within the 40 minutes that I am given, I think I would limit to only solar energy and how the energy is stored later. So you can see over here, the incoming solar radiation is about 340 watts per meter square, which comes from the sun. However, it is reflected by the clouds and atmosphere. It is absorbed also by the atmosphere. And what comes to the surface is only 163 watts per meter square. And this is what can be used to convert the solar energy into electrical energy. Of course, the other what you are seeing here, IR, UV, and all this can be used for other applications. For example, IR can also be used, IR emittance can be used from a material for the solar thermal conversion of energy into electricity. So coming to photovoltaics, I concentrate on the photovoltaics, and you must be seeing all over the city or even on top of your houses, lot of solar cells that are being introduced, which was not there a decade before. So this itself gives the latest trend of use of solar energy materials for the conversion into electricity that reduces the pollution to a great extent. And you can see in the top left plot that from 2010 to 2020, how it has very rapidly increased the solar PV global capacity. Okay, by 2020 itself, 760 gigawatts of power is generated. And if you see country-wise, here this color is for India, and also India has increased the use of solar energy conversion into electricity. And you can see over here, there is lack of place, and now people have started working on floating solar cells. This is the latest trend in solar energy conversion, where see, on the sea, you don't use that place really, isn't it? So now people are, the scientists are using the sea for, there are two advantages. One is place is saved, and second is also the cooling effect for this heating up what happens during the conversion can also be taken care by using these floating solar cells. And now coming to the different applications of photovoltaics, you can see this is for a grid application where a lot of solar panels are used on a ground, and this connection is given to a grid. However, you can also place the solar panels on top of the house and give connection to the your own appliances in the house. And now government is also providing an opportunity for the leftover power which you are converting from solar energy can be connected to grid, and you will be getting money for that. And more than that, this is a one time in life investment. See, once you install these things, now power is totally free for you instead of paying every month. So this is what is bringing the changes in technology in different fields. And so this is silicon solar cell, which is having a hard surface and a 300 micron thickness. I'll be telling in 1 or 2 slides later. And also you can coat these converters onto thin films, as thin films onto flexible surfaces, where this can power the electronics of the car inside. So now Tesla has introduced this, where CIGS solar cells are coated, are made on flexible substrates and used for car power applications. And this is another application where you can just connect the solar cell to your backpack and charge your laptop or your mobile phone as you are traveling. And in fact, ARCI was planning to work with Swiggy or some of these delivery apps, where the delivery boys can use these and they can charge while they are traveling on the bike, because they need a lot of usage of the mobile phone. So this can be easily done by using these flexible solar cells. Now, another advantage with the CIGS solar cell, I'll just come a little later. Now see, another advantage with the solar power is, you can see over here with the wind energy. Of course, this is also widely used, but it is highly dependent on the direction of the wind, the power of the wind, and it keeps changing. They have given for 31 days, and you can see that the wind pattern and the power is different on each day. Whereas except on a cloudy day, you can see that the solar energy starts giving the power. So sun starts giving the power right from 8 o'clock. Of course, silicon solar cells start at about 11 o'clock and work until 3 o'clock. That is converting the solar energy into electricity. And on a cloudy day, which is the electrode material, that is advantage, I will tell in the next slide. And these are all the materials that are used for solar energy conversion. So first and foremost, which we are seeing, as I said, on all the shopping complexes on top, on the rooftops and the house rooftops, are silicon, single crystalline or multi-crystalline silicon solar cells. And then for the thin film niche applications, which are space applications, and also the mobile applications like on top of a car, for the automotive applications, and for just charging a computer or a laptop or mobile phone on the backpacks, or these are the thin films that are generally used. And the future solar cells are perovskites, quantum dot photovoltaics, etc. So now coming back to my topic of research, you can see the clear comparison of crystalline silicon solar cell and the CIGS. So here again, the chemistry plays a very, very important role. You can see over here, it is copper, indium, gallium diselenide. And the ratio of this, or the stoichiometry of these 4 elements, plays a very, very important role. And also you can choose the band gap, you can tune the band gap of this material by changing this X value, where indium and gallium play a very important role in tuning the band gap. And why this band gap is very, very important. Once you have a tuning for the band gap, it starts working right from 8 o'clock in the morning, because that much power is sufficient for this CIGS material to absorb the light, which is a p-type semiconductor, and the buffer layer is an n-type semiconductor, and it transfers to the circuit and you can get the power. And silicon solar cells, the advantage is that it has very high power conversion efficiency. However, the disadvantage for some of the applications is that its thickness is about 150 to 300 microns. So this is good for a rooftop application or a grid power connection. But for some of the mobile applications, it is very difficult. So that is where the thin film solar cells come into picture. This is the latest running material for the solar energy conversion. So for some of the applications, silicon is important, so you cannot avoid silicon. And for some of the mobile applications, CIGS, that is copper, indium, gallium diselenide, P-type semiconductor is very, very important. And with this, you can make a flexible solar cell. So here you can see how we can make it. You can see CIGS P-type is just 1 to 2.5 micron thick. And so you can make it on a bendable substrate, and you have to coat it on a molybdenum substrate for collecting the current. This is a current collector. N-type you need a PN junction, and the CDS acts as the PN N-type semiconductor, and on the other side the correct contact is given with AZO and ZNO. And this whole thickness of the solar cell is about 3 microns. You will be surprised to see that it's only about 3 microns. And at ARCI, we have the total complete facility to make the CIGS hill-filled solar cells both by vacuum routes and the non-vacuum routes. And this can easily make a module of 30 centimeter by 30 centimeter, which we have tested for the mobile charging applications. And we are looking for the takers of this technology in future, because it's very useful for the mobile applications, and that is with the vacuum methods. You can see why vacuum methods are disadvantageous for some of the applications is they are very expensive. So now in India especially, we have to look for a more economic way of making the material. So now we have gone also for the non-vacuum based methods like electrodeposition or non-nano ink based technologies, which has given 7.3% conversion efficiency, which is almost equal to the commercial solar cells on flexible substrate. You can see over here, we have made this solar cell and we have tested and we obtained the 7.3% efficiency. And now this can be used, as I mentioned, we were talking to the food suppliers or these mobile where it is widely used on the bikes, etc. for charging. And now future is with the perovskite solar cells. Here again, chemistry plays a very, very important role. It is giving efficiencies even higher than the CIGS solar cells. However, the problem here is the stability. So now scientists are still working on increasing the stability of these perovskite solar cells. Probably since all of you are from chemistry, one of you can take up this challenge in order to increase the efficiency. The efficiency wise, you can see over here, people have gone even up to 28, 29% efficiency. So that is quite good. Only the stability, cycle stability should be very good for this perovskite solar cells. Now we have converted the energy. Now what happens when we have solar energy without a storage technology? We can use it only during the day. So even to use the solar energy converted electricity in the night, we need an energy storage device. So you can see in this plot, the power generated during the night time can be lesser, during daytime it can be more. With an energy storage device, it can compensate the requirements even during the night. So until now, people have been using lead acid based batteries or fuel cells and other supercapacitors, etc. The problem with lead acid based batteries is that its power is lesser, cycle life is lesser, although it is quite cheap. But then the problem is every time you have to keep on changing the batteries. So to replace the lead acid batteries, lithium ion batteries, I think I will skip this because all of you know what is a primary cell, what is a secondary cell. Secondary cell is something, a battery that can be recharged. What we are using in the same laptop that I'm using and the mobile phones, and in most of the applications we are using the rechargeable batteries. And you can see over here the charge discharge time for a rechargeable battery, and next version of the battery is a supercapacitor. It has different power density and energy density, which I'll be explaining a little later. So now coming back to the different types of batteries that are used for energy conversion, depending on the chemistry that they are using, are lithium ion batteries, which are used in most of the automobile applications, stationary applications, even the mobile phones, our electronic applications, they are now running the show. However, the future, here there are some disadvantages. See, over the lead acid batteries, these have lot of advantages, but then their energy density, the specific capacity is still not very high. So the lithium sulfur batteries are now in the limelight for the research, which will be the future technology, and which we are working also at ARCI. The advantages of lithium sulfur batteries I'll coming a little later. And the other one which is now taking off very quickly is sodium ion batteries. The advantage with the sodium ion batteries is sodium is plenty in India. All of you know, isn't it? The sodium sources are very high in India, whereas the lithium sources we do not have, or at least we have not yet explored, although now IMMT and other institutes are trying to see where the lithium sources in India are available. So this lithium source we are importing from some of the South American countries like Argentina, Bolivia, etc., which is making it very, very expensive. And the second part is converting from the ore to the lithium metal is also very, very expensive, because that also we don't have the technology in India, and we are still importing the technology, that material also. So this makes it very expensive, where if we can use either sodium ion battery or a lithium sulfur battery, which gives much better energy efficiency compared to the lithium ion batteries, future we can run a car even for 1,000 kilometers with a single charging. And supercapacitors have entirely different field of applications, although for the energy storage, which I'll be telling. Now, the material is very, very important here. So these are all the cathode and anode materials you can see over here for the lithium ion batteries that are used. So here the best is, although it has only 2 volt cell voltage, lithium titanate as anode and lithium manganese oxide as, or lithium iron phosphate as cathode, is the best combination for Indian conditions in order to get the best efficiency. And you all must have heard the news that many of the two-wheelers are catching fire recently, isn't it? That is because of the NMC that is used over here. This is going into the red, isn't it? So once the temperature is increasing in the battery or the BMS is at fault, then immediately the fire starts into that. And it's not just one electrode, one cathode, one anode. It's a module. The total battery is a module consisting of several electrochemical cells. So all these start catching fire and the fire comes up, isn't it? So NMC has a very high efficiency, very high voltage, cell voltage, but however, it needs a very good cooling system. So in all our four-wheelers, we are using the NMC batteries because it has a very good cooling system. When it comes to two-wheelers, cost is very important. So in order to reduce the cost, the cooling system is not taken care. That is what is causing the battery in the two-wheelers to catch fire. And so now we are slowly moving also towards, some of the companies are now giving lithium iron phosphate, LFP based batteries. And here again, the chemistry and stoichiometry of lithium iron and phosphorus is very, very important in order to maintain the cell voltage as well as to give performance with good cycle stability. And we do some carbon coating in order to make it, because the conductivity of this is very, very less. So in order to improve the conductivity, we also give some carbon coating. And these are all the anode materials. Graphite is the standard material that is used. But however, you can see it is again in the red region. When we use LTO, it is a safe material. And we are also working now on tin anodes in place of lithium. If we can replace the lithium anode with tin, it will be a safer electrode material for the batteries. So now why I'm giving these details is how you can think in future what you can do with chemistry for improving the technology. Now, the next aspect after the chemistry is the size of the particle of your LFP. So when you use a micron-sized battery, what happens is the diffusion length is very high for this micron-sized particle. And for the diffusion to happen for the lithium metal, it takes very long time. When you use nano-sized particle, the diffusion length is very slow. small, so the reactions take very quickly. And you can see over here the charge discharge curve for a micron-sized particle and a nano-sized particle. You can see over here is very stable and it gives very high specific capacity. So the size of the particle and the chemistry now we have seen. And again, with the anode material, nano-sized lithium titanate, you can see over here. Again, the performance is very good with a nano-sized particle, and it is used in these buses as anode material for the lithium-ion batteries. Now, all these materials until now are imported from abroad. We are only packing the electrode. So in India, with the Swachh Bharat and Make in India, Atmanirbhar concept, government is encouraging to make even the material for the battery in India itself. And ARCI has worked now on making the battery materials like cathode and anode. You can see over here, we started again with a very few milligram scale, and we have scaled up. And scaling up, as I mentioned in my first slide, requires engineering aspect also. How your equipment has to be engineered, how your electrode has to be engineered to make kilogram level LFP. You can see over here, we have in a course of 5 to 6 years, we could reach from few milligrams to kilogram level. And recently we have transferred this technology to an Indian-based battery producing industry, which is Hyderabad-based, Elox Minerals. You have seen the photo of the technology transfer function over there. And now they are ready to sell this material, which is indigenously prepared. And this brings the cost down a lot compared to what we are importing. So this makes, again, more user-friendly by making the materials in India itself. That was the cathode material, and we are also ready with the anode material, where we have used a high energy ball milling for making this material. And you can see it is doing very well and comparative to a commercial electrode. And the cost we have already calculated, and it comes out very, very low. And again, other anode material tin, you see, again here electrochemistry plays a very, very important role, where you can make the nanostructures of the anode material. And this nanostructuring is very, very important because the surface area increases enormously with the nanostructured materials. And that in turn increases the specific capacity and also the energy density. Now the next upcoming material is what? Lithium sulfur battery. Why lithium sulfur battery is very important? You can see over here, the present lithium ion battery can only travel up to 160 kilometers. Okay, so again you need to charge. So for an outstation, of course, it has improved now slightly to 200 to 25 kilometers. But now the new material lithium sulfur, the energy density over here, you can see very good theoretical capacity of 1672 and also very high energy density for the lithium sulfur battery. And the sulfur material is very, very cheap compared to that of the cathodes of lithium ion batteries. And the minimum you can go is 400 kilometers with the lithium sulfur batteries, and people are working even for 800 and 900 kilometers. And at ARCI, we are also working on the lithium sulfur batteries. But why it has not come into market? Again, chemistry plays a very, very important role over here, because it forms polysulfides during the discharge process. When it is discharging, it forms Li2S8, Li2S6. So all these sulfides which are formed during the discharge, they dissolve into the electrolyte and start blocking the anode. So that gives a big problem, and that is being solved now at ARCI and of course all over the world. As a part of it, we have made the sulfur cathode and tested and shown that it is very stable up to 300 cycles. And now coming to supercapacitors. Batteries, they charge for very long time and they can be discharged or used for very, very long time, but the power is very, very small. See, now in the cars, if you see, there is a charge discharge, there is a start stop button, or that the supercapacitors are used. This is a very good example. You can see over here, with a battery, you charge it slowly, that means fill it slowly, and you empty the bottle also very slowly. Whereas in a supercapacitor, it is a very high power density. So you charge it very quickly. You can pour water very quickly and also discharge very quickly. So you can impede also it's something like a running race and a slow jogging race. So now I don't go into details because of lack of time. Where is it useful? So there you can use for cars which go outstation, but here you can use for the city buses which stop after every 2 kilometers, isn't it? If you see in our Hyderabad, at least every 2 kilometers there is a bus stop. If you use supercapacitors in a bus, here you need not use battery. And the advantage with the supercapacitor is it doesn't require this very expensive lithium metal or the lithium iron phosphate, NMC, because NMC consists again of nickel, cobalt, which are very, very expensive materials, whereas supercapacitors use only very environmental friendly and economic carbon material. And it can run both in aqueous and non-aqueous electrolytes when you use redox couples. And you can charge this thing. As the passengers get down and get in those 30 seconds to 1 minute, these bars go up and touch the electrical wires and it gets charged in that 1 minute, and it can run up to about 5 kilometers. And this is already being used both in China and Europe. Now at ARCI, we have made, I think I will not go into these details because maybe in future, I will speak only on these energy storage materials to you all once again. Now I want to give a glimpse of what energy conversion in Make in India can do. So here, I will skip these. These are the different types of supercapacitors and what we made at ARCI. This is from a simple, you all must be knowing what is a jute stick, from which you make these jute bags and all. So the pulp that is left over after taking the fiber is a waste, bio-waste material that we have taken and activated, made as activated graphene-like structure. You can see very clearly from the Raman that 2D band showing the graphene-like structure. And this is made at again very small scale. And then it is made into rolls. And we have made an indigenous supercapacitor. We first ran a fan with that. And then, of course, this is again examples of where all the buses are used with supercapacitor charging, using only carbon. And at ARCI, first we have used a Maxwell supercapacitor, which is a commercial supercapacitor, made a bicycle, because here electronics are very important. That's why I'm saying when it comes to technology, only chemistry, only physics, only material science, only electronics do not work. We all have to come together and work. Lot of physics, lot of mechanical engineering, lot of electronics is also required to make the CMC. And we made with the commercial battery. And this is when our Minister of Science and Technology was here, we have demonstrated it. Then this was in 2017. Then we quickly started making our own batteries at ARCI. And this bottom cycle, you can see this bicycle is demonstrated with the ARCI made batteries. You can see over here, this is the pilot plant we have over here. And this is a Maxwell battery, and this is an Maxwell supercapacitor, and this is an ARCI made supercapacitor, which perform perfectly same in power output. And these are all the pilot scale facilities which we have established or installed at ARCI, and now making it in tens and hundreds of numbers at ARCI itself. And this is a metal-based supercapacitor, which has an advantage with the Faraday effect. Whoever is well versed with the electrochemistry, you can see over here, the current is much more compared to a carbon electrode. And this gives much more capacitance compared to the EDLC-based supercapacitor. This is still under research, which will be soon into market, probably with much higher capacity. Instead of 5 kilometers, you can go even up to 20 to 25 kilometers. So it will be useful again for the two-wheeler applications. And the advantage with the supercapacitors is it is a completely economic and environmental friendly material that you are using. Now, as I mentioned, since there are also some pharmaceutical chemistry people over here, you can see over here, I'm coordinating the biomedical group over here. We work, I'm showing the implant applications where we use titanium implant, and we coat with the titanium dioxide material or the HA, that is hydroxyapatite, which is increasing the biocompatibility of the titanium with the muscles in our body. So in order to increase the biocompatibility, otherwise it will start corroding in the body and you will also get the infections inside the body, especially for the diabetic patients or who have some other problems. So in order to decrease these problems, generally we coat with the biocompatible material, which is titania or the HAP. This we are doing at ARCI. We also, this TIN coating is also done at ARCI. This we are working in collaboration with Sri Chitra Thinnal Institute of Medical Sciences, and they have implanted this into a pig, and it is running since last 1 year without any problems. This shows that this is a completely indigenous coated stent and can be used by the patients in India. That brings down, now government has kept a ceiling, isn't it? We have to take also economy and the innovation into consideration when we are doing the research. And this is something which we made in India itself. This is a biodegradable implant. This gives very good properties, and also for some of the applications we don't need all our life these stents. It can do its job. So drugs can be coated for the pharmaceutical students. You can think of this. You can think of coating a drug onto this, which dilutes the cholesterol, and the blocks can remove the blocks. And these are already there, which we are importing to India and using. But now our purpose is to make in India itself and give it to our society, and our industries can produce these. And these are the spinal cord implants. This also we are making at ARCI for, and now we are talking to an industry so that the industry can commercialize it. So this is all. I'll take just 5 more minutes. Is it okay, Dr. Prashanti?
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah, so this is all our regular research. But then what happened when COVID came? None of us could come to our labs and work. Our students could not come. And so also government has asked us to quickly work on disinfection, because we can't do the bio part, isn't it? Because we are all material scientists. So we had to do something to help the people in India in order to disinfect the items, and also the hospitals. Hospitals really required, with a lot of patients, disinfection in minutes. So a set of patients, whenever they vacate the beds, the cleaning was required, which people were not ready to do cleaning and all that. So this UV based disinfection system we have developed by month of May in collaboration with an industry, and we have distributed to several hospitals, where of course here one important thing you have to take care is you should not see, because it kills any organic matter. So your skin and eyes have to be protected. You can see over here the operator was wearing a mask and the helmet, and he was moving it inside the hospital, and it could, we have tested in collaboration with Gandhi Medical, not Gandhi, ESI hospital, where they have tested and shown that within 30 to 40 seconds it was able to kill the COVID-19, which is the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which has caused the COVID-19. And we also have developed a cabinet and a baggage system in the airports and railway stations. This was even exported by this company, Vehan Technologies, Noida-based company, for baggage disinfection, because during the second phase, when the travel has started, we had to work even on the baggage disinfection part. And the other very important one is self-disinfecting masks. We have developed in collaboration with CCMB and an industry, where we made these masks with nanoparticles of copper oxide and silver coated onto the fabric. This we got as a project. DST has asked us to quickly make antiviral or self-disinfecting masks for the public to be distributed. So now we worked again during the COVID time, lockdown time. We could get the nanoparticles coated onto the surface of the fabric, and we tested up to 30 washes where it was still killing the COVID. And you can see this is the CCMB data that has given with the different fabric material, and you can see this is our material, which could very clearly reduce the virus. So now what I'm finally want to conclude is the institute and the government, the universities and the government research institutes work over here, and the industry takes the technology from abroad and works over here. Now in India, we need to fill the gap between the you and us. We work on one side, okay? The colleges, the institutes, the universities. Now, what ARCI is doing is we are discussing with the industry, bringing them into ARCI and filling the gap between them in order to get the products out. And we have transferred almost more than 20 technologies from ARCI in these 20 years into Indian industry, and even to strategic sector, we have transferred a lot of technologies. And these are team working at Center for Nanomaterials and Center for Solar Energy Materials. And I thank all of them. This is our director and our team leaders at Center for Nanomaterials and Center for Solar Energy Materials, and my students who are doing PhD under me, and my colleagues who have worked together to bring out all the products that I have mentioned to you all. And now, to all the students, I encourage all of you to take up your projects, especially the MSc students. Take some project, come to ARCI, work under a particular project. We have plenty of chemistry related projects, so that this will show you how to transfer research into technology, and it will be very, very useful for you in future. Thank you. Dr. Prashanti, I'm done.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am.
I hope I'm finished within time. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Dr. Jeevan Jyoti ma'am to propose vote of thanks and any queries from the audience. Over
Thank
to
you, ma'am.
Jeevan Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear participants, if you have any queries, you can unmute yourself and interact with the guest speaker.
1-2 minutes only. Time is very limited.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody has any doubts. Either you understood or you didn't understand anything.
No, ma'am. Very wonderful and inspirational talk, ma'am. Really happy to hear about the dilute the drugs for the cholesterol removal means really wonderful.
Yes, this is what we are working on. We have already, see, we have two methods. We directly manufacture. We have an edit-to manufacturing facility, which I am also again coordinating for the biomedical applications. We can directly print these stents, or we can take a tube and micro machine it at ARCI, and this I electropolish in order to get a very good finishing, because a stent should not have sharp edges. This I myself do this electropolishing. And now we are looking for the drug coating from the pharmaceutical institutes. That's Sri Chitra Tinnal to an extent. They said they'll cooperate with us, and that will be very useful for the heart patients.
Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Ma'am, I think there are no queries.
Okay,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, thank you all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. And you can contact all students. Anybody can contact me. Even the faculty can contact me if you want to collaborate for any particular. Yes, someone has a question. Is it
Yes,
safe
ma'am.
to use drug coating? If we can use a nanoporous coating with a drug inside, which releases drug very slowly, it is very safe.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, for valuable your and time. I have a small doubt, ma'am. I have a question.
Yeah, please.
We are using the organic photovoltaic structure representation.
Hello.
The function and characteristics of quantum dot in photovoltaic, ma'am. And generally, we are using in this quantum dot for the semiconductors. What is the purpose of this, ma'am? Thank you.
Hello. 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 Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
I think there was some problem in between. Yeah. Charan? Mr. Charan?
Yes, ma'am.
You can ask your query.
Yes, ma'am.
You can ask Madam doubt.
Ma'am, here we are representing the organic photovoltaic structure.
Yeah.
In this quantum dot photovoltaics are using, ma'am.
Yes.
What is the function of quantum dot in photovoltaic, and we are using semiconductors.
Yes.
What is the we are using this, and what is the function of this, ma'am, and characteristics?
So I was mentioning, when a material comes from micron size to nano size to angstrom size, quantum dot size, the properties change very vigorously. From micron to nano size, only the physical mechanical properties change. But when it goes to quantum dots from the nano size, even the chemical properties, see, you can see even gold, if you have studied already, the color of the gold itself changes. That is because of what? The band gap and the energy that it absorbs. So that is used mainly for the quantum dot photovoltaic applications.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
It gives me immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks to Dr. B.V. Sharada, madam.
Over to
Scientist.
Jyoti, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Propose vote of thanks.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. It gives me immense pleasure to propose vote of thanks to Dr. B.V. Sharada, ma'am, Scientist, F, Center for Nanomaterials, ARCI, Hyderabad. Madam, in our lecture has explained about the role of science, especially electrochemistry, in developing the technology. She also enlightened us about the innovations which were done by ARCI, starting from solar panels, PV technology used in mobile charging, different types of batteries useful for storage devices. She also explained about the applications of supercapacitors in designing, developing, and demonstrating e-bikes, e-carts, elevators, and electrical buses. Madam, like a frontline warrior, you people have designed and fabricated UVC-based disinfectant systems and also self-disinfecting masks for hospitals and commercial organizations for fighting against COVID-19. This is a very commendable job, madam, from ARCI. Madam, you have also given an insight about the future research which we can take up in developing lithium sulfur batteries. Ma'am, your lecture is a thought-provoking for our young chemistry students, and I'm sure that they will be inspired by your motivating words. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all. Can I leave, Dr. Prashanti? I have a meeting now to attend.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Thank you. Ma'am. Thank you so
you.
much. Thank you, ma'am. Now, it's my pleasure to invite our respected guest speaker, Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar, sir, Head R&D and Knowledge Management, Raisal Chiral Technologies, Hyderabad. And before that, I request Mrs. Abhilasha ma'am to introduce today's guest speaker. Over to Abhilasha.
Thank you, ma'am. I.D. Abhilasha, Assistant Professor Contact, Department of Chemistry, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, would like to take this opportunity to introduce today's speaker, Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar, sir. Sir, Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar, sir, presently working as Associate Director and Head Knowledge Management at Raisal Chiral Technologies, India Private Limited. And previous positions held by him include Professor and Head Department of Pharmaceutical Analysis, in charge LCMS Central Analytical Instrumentation Facility at Naipur, Hyderabad, and Scientific Manager at Biocon, Bangalore. He received a PhD degree from CSIR Indian Institute of Chemical Technology, Hyderabad. He has published 90 scientific articles in his credit. He successfully supervised and guided 50 MS Pharma and 4 PhD research scholars for their research work. He is recipient of CSIR Research Fellowship, Institute of Chemists Associateship. He is member of scientific societies, Royal Society of Chemistry, London, Asian Council of Science Editor, Science Direct declared 4 times one of his articles published in Journal of Pharmaceutical and Biomedical Analysis was among top 25 hottest articles. The Indian Drug Manufacturer Association conferred a prestigious Young Pharmaceutical Analyst Award 2011 for his outstanding research contribution in the field of pharmaceutical analysis, and elected and admitted as Associate Fellow of Telangana and Andhra Pradesh Academia of Sciences in 2014. So received Best Research Scientist Award, NIPER in 2016, Bharat Vikas Award 2017, Institute of Self-Reliance, Journal of Pharmaceutical and Biomedical Analysis, recognized by the JPBA Quality Award in 2017 for the outstanding contributions in receiving and contributions made to the quality of the journal. Sir attended so many as examiner for various national exams, drug inspector post, government analyst, NIPO PhD, examiner for various universities, Pilani, JSS University, Mysore, Gujarat, Technological University, Ahmedabad, Central University, New Delhi, Sri Satya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, AP, etc. He is a reviewer for many international journals, including RSC Advances, Analyst Methods, New Journal of Chemistry, Journal of Pharmaceutical and Biomedical Analysis, Journal of Separation Science, Biomedical Chromatography, Scientific Reports, Chromatographic and Chemospheres, etc. By this brief introduction, Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar, sir, I welcome you. It's a warm welcome for you, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for a nice introduction. Very good afternoon to one and all.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Vice Chancellor Gopal, sir, Registrar, Secretary, Board of Studies, and various guests from the academy as well as industry. And of course, participants, students. Thanks, Ananda. Thank you very much for this invitation. I'll try to give a brief introduction about the different analytical techniques and of course some trends in the pharmaceutical industry. Hope I am audible, right? Is it audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. So some of the analytical techniques and trends in pharmaceutical industry. My background is totally into pharma analysis. So the reason I'm going to talk about some of the important aspects of pharmaceutical industry, especially into pharmaceutical analysis. So quality and safety and efficacy, these are the three different terms when you are talking about the pharmaceutical industry. Generally, once there is an efficiency for a drug, that is it can cure the disease, that's fine. In addition to that, is it safe or not? That is also important. So safety and efficacy of the pharmaceuticals are the two fundamental issues of importance of drug therapy. So generally, the safety of the drug is determined by pharmacological as well as toxicological profile, as well as some of the adverse effects caused by the impurities. During the synthetic process of the drug, generally, some of the impurities will be carried forward to the bulk drugs as well as final formulations. We need to understand how much can be allowed into the final drug formulation. Is it 0.05 or 0.03% based on the toxicity? So the impurities in the drugs often possess unwanted pharmacological as well as toxicological effects. So their administration is outdated. So it is quite obvious that the product intended for human consumption must be characterized as completely as possible. The quality and the safety of the drug is generally assured by monitoring and controlling the impurities effectively. So the analytical activities related to the monitoring of controlling these impurities is very much important in modern pharmaceutical analysis research area. So when we go to the regulatory agencies, ICH, International Council for Harmonization for technical requirement for registration of pharmaceutical for human use, which is widely considered in different countries, including European countries, US, as well as India, so Japan. So all these are like harmonized guidelines. So that makes suitable to communicate your drug master files very effectively and get the good results if you are following with the international conference or international council guidelines. So quality guidelines we are talking about, you get some idea about what are different quality guidelines. One is stability. So drug can be exposed to different conditions like acidic condition, basic condition, oxidative degradation, thermal degradation. So when it is exposed to the humidity, how it will be degraded. So all this need to be assessed initially to see the quality of the drug. So analytical validation. So once the method is developed, for example, HPLC method you are developing, so is it really fit for that requirement or not? So how much it is accurate? So you are analyzing a reference standard material after method development? Is it giving 99% recovery or not? So is it precise? Means is it able to give the repeatable results or not? So it can be reproduced from one lab to another lab. All this will be given in the analytical validation guidelines known as Q2 guidelines and impurities. So during the synthetic process of the drug, definitely there are different classes of impurities will be entered. So it may be organic impurity, it may be inorganic impurity, it may be residual solvents. So like these different types of impurities may enter into the drug substance. So based on that, Q3A, Q3B, Q3C, and Q3D. So different guidelines are prescribed for the organic, inorganic solvents and impurities. So about the harmonization of the pharmacopoeial method, Q4, and the quality of biotechnology products, Q5, and specification importance, Q6, GMP, good manufacturing process, good manufacturing practices like Q7, pharmaceutical development, Q8, quality risk management, Q9, and pharmaceutical quality system, Q10. Development and manufacturing of drug substances, talking about Q11, and life cycle management. Once drug is developed, total life cycle, we are talking about Q12 guidelines. Continuous manufacturing of drug substance and drug product. So without having like a stop in between the process, a continuous manufacturing process that is there for the bulk drug as well as drug products. In that case, what are the precautions we need to take care? What are the guidelines available? That is talking about Q13. Of course, analytical procedure development. It's not so easy to just develop a method and apply it to the drug substances as well as drug products. So there are some guidelines even for the analytical procedure development. So that is about Q14. So QBD, quality by design concept, will talk about the integration of these different guidelines. So just to understand what is the importance of these impurities, based on the dosage form, how much you are going to expose, that determines what is the level of impurities need to be identified, need to be characterized, need to be qualified if it is safe enough. Already prescribed in ICH guidelines. If it is less than 2 grams per day, dose is there, the reporting value is 0.05%. You can report it. If it is 0.05%, you need to report it if it is 0.02%. So if it is 0.1%, you need to characterize it by using NMR, IR mass, or MSMS techniques and find out what is structure. Once you find the structure, you synthesize it and go for the toxicity studies and say it is safe enough to introduce this percentage into the one final drug substance or drug product. Like that 0.15% is maximum level you can introduce if it is safe enough to your final drug substance or product. So if it is more than 2 grams, there are different specification limits already prescribed. So if it is a degradation product, what are the limits? So drug will be exposed to the different atmospheric conditions, and stress conditions also need to be conducted by forcefully post-degradation studies, we call it as. So in that case, what is the requirement, like what are the different specification limits prescribed by the pharmacopoeia as well as the ICH guidelines reported here. So pharmacopoeia status and regulatory aspects you are considering. The International Council for Harmonization of Technical Requirements for Pharmaceuticals for Human Use, which took place in the Japan in 1995, has released some guidelines for the new drugs products. So analytical procedures should be able to separate all the impurities from each other, and the method should be optimized to separate and quantify them in dosage form. Just I analyze, for example, for a drug and say this method will be applicable to the formulation. It may be formulation, may be tablet, or it may be capsule, or it may be a syrup. There may be different formulations available. But is it having any interference with your excipients present in the formulation or not, need to be checked? So that is the importance. And such methods to be validated. So there is a validation like accuracy. Accuracy means how much near to the actual value. Is it 99%, 99.5%? You must have some reference material. And need to analyze that material also and say it is more than 99%, 99.5% like that. So that is accuracy, precision. The results what you are analyzing, is it getting the same value every time or not? So if I am doing the analysis and other person is doing in another lab, is it repeatable or not? So this comes under category of precision. Specificity, ability to monitor the analyte in presence of different possible excipients or degradation products. That is the specificity. Limit of detection, the minimum quantity that can be detected is the limit of detection, and the minimum quantity that can be accurately determined, precisely determined, is known as LOQ, limit of quantification. Linearity, the minimum concentration to the maximum concentration you can able to measure. So that is the linearity, the range where accuracy and precision is also there within that linearity range is known as range. And interferences are there with the excipients or not, need to check with the spiking the like excipients or degradation products or impurities and see that method is not having any interferences from the other possible excipients or impurities during the process of the development. So the validation of analytical procedures, the proof of its suitability for the intended purpose, is an important part of the registration application for new drug. So without validation, simply developing a method and submitting to the regulatory agency will not be acceptable. So additional peak tiling, peak, if it is eluted, it should be cut and equal halves, that is symmetrical peak. The right side part must be equal to the left side part. If it is deviated, this right side part is something more, that is known as tiling. If left side part of the peak cut and off is more, that is known as fronting. So it should be within limits. So for example, if it is 100%, 1 is the tiling factor. If it is like some percentage 1.2 is acceptable, not like 1.5 or 2. So it should not be double to the off cut value. So that is a tiling, should not be more. Peak resolution at least 1.5 or 2 must be there. So retention time of first peak and second peak, what is the difference between these two? In that way, we will calculate what is the resolution between the two peaks. So once you spike the known concentration and determine by using the method with the linearity range, what is the recovery? Is it 99% recovery or not? Or 98% recovery or not? Acceptable limit. So all these points are important to see the method is really fit for a product. So these ICH guidelines serves as basis worldwide for both for the regulatory authorities as well as industry to bring the importance of proper validation to the authentication of those involved in the process of submission of the drug master files. So especially the AR&D department, analytical research and development units in the pharmaceutical industry are responsible for preparation and the validation of these test methods. So we are talking about this regulatory requirement, ICH guidelines, accuracy, precision, linearity, method development, all. So before to that, how this like impurities originated to the drug substance and drug product? What are the possibilities? How these impurities will come into the drug substance? So last intermediate of the synthesis is one. Synthesis is happening, and last stage of the synthetic process is generally will be going forward and will be there some percentage in your final drug substance. That is the one possibility. And the product of incomplete reactions. There are two reactions, and you are giving some temperature to complete the reaction, but it is not totally converted because the temperature monitoring is not 100% or it's not reached that level of optimum temperature. So incomplete reaction may be happening. So sometimes you are using more harsh conditions and you will be end with the overreactions. So you will get more byproducts, and the byproducts quantity sometimes more than the expected, so than the actual product. So like that, there is a chance, and impurities are the starting material. For example, benzene is there. The benzene, in addition to benzene, there will be some quantity of chlorine will be also present in the raw material. So if you are using that raw material which consists of some impurity like toluene, so in addition to benzene substitution, you will get the toluene substitution also during the process of synthesis. So originated from the solvents, we are using n number of solvents during synthetic process reaction monitoring. So during the process, the leftover small quantity of solvent, we are using benzene or hexene or some other solvents like isonitrate. So there will be some leftover quantities will be there in your final drug substances. What is the quantity that is left over? Residual solvent analysis. So then generally GC and GCMS are the techniques of choices to find out headspace JC, headspace gas chromatography or headspace gas chromatography with mass spectrometry are the techniques of choices to find out leftover residual solvents, how much quantity, what is the residual solvent present in that. That is part of the profiling. So during the synthetic process, you are using n number of catalysts, metallic catalysts like hydrogenation. You are doing with nickel, cadmium, like metals, titanium. So there will be some leftover quantity present in the final drug substances. In that case, what is that leftover quantity? Is it in ppm, parts per billion or parts per million. So like AAS, atomic absorption spectrometry, ICP, integral coupled plasma mass spectrometry. These are the techniques of choice to find out trace quantity of leftover residual metallic portions. So that is inorganic impurity profiling, need to do it. So products of site reactions, degradation products. So drug substance will be exposed to the different conditions, trust conditions, and it will be degraded. So those also need to be find out what the limits of that. Because even degradation products, if a major quantity that is there, the stability of the drug is not very good, then you will end with different adverse reactions because it is exposed to different atmospheric conditions. So in addition to that, anisomeric impurities. So drug is having different, some of the drugs have both toxic as well as safe anisomers. So the left side drug structure may be same, but the spatial arrangement will be different. Because of that, one is known as anisomer to another. So in that case, one may be active, another may be therapeutically toxic. So monitoring of that type of anisomeric impurity is also part of this impurity profiling to see how much anisomeric excess of that undeserved the impurity, anisomeric impurity present in that. As discussed, residual solvents and inorganic impurities, as well as even the excipients, which consists of some of the impurities. So you're using starch, cellulose, all these are excipients added to the bulk drug substance to make it suitable as a formulation, say tablet or capsule. So the excipient quality is also determined. The quality is also important for that also. Otherwise, the excipient, for example, having some of the metallic impurity or something, that will degrade your drug substance. So monitoring and controlling of excipient quality is also important part of the to maintain the quality of the drug products. So in that way, there is a chance of different origin of impurities, and controlling that impurities is also important. We'll try to consider about a little bit about the chiral chromatography, and we'll start with some introduction about what is chromatography and HPLC, and then try to understand about chiral technologies. So chromatography is a physical process. There is no chemistry change to the analyte once you are injecting. You know that synthetic chemists generally use the column chromatography. They prepared a column with the silica gel and poured some of the substance on the top of that using petitioner and hexane and ethyl acetate, and able to collect different quantum class, different different fractions, and try to put TLC spot and see which is having same RF value will be considered same fraction, and that will be subject to the Rotary operation and finding that pure compound is HO. So that is the way people still doing it in the synthetic chemistry lab. So that is traditional column chromatography. So to that, if it is advanced, if it is having the like instead of glass column, very stable stainless steel column is there. Instead of offline TLC, you are able to connect a UV detector and able to see the chromatograms. So that is high performance liquid chromatography, we can say general to understand. So chromatography system is composed of three components. First two components are important. One is static stationary phase, known as column. The second one is moving phase, well phase. That is, say in case of HPLC, the liquid. That reason it is known as high performance liquid chromatography. The third component is a mixture, which is going to be separated, the sample. You cannot change the composition of mixture because give it to you. You can play with either stationary phase and mobile phase and able to develop a methodology and able to separate the components present in given mixture to you. So chromatography is a dynamic process in which mobile phase moves in a defined direction. If you are using gas, that is known as gas chromatography. If you are using the liquid, means solvent, that is known as liquid chromatography. Or if you are using like a gas like CO2 in supercritical nature, that is known as supercritical fluid chromatography. So like that, if it's stationary phase is considered as column, different bonded phases can be incorporated to the column to have different wide selectivity. So we'll try to see what are different bonded phases that are available in market also. So block diagram of HPLC, if you look into that. So there is a solvent reservoir, and you can be able to see here degasser, and which will remove the dissolved gases. Once you open the bottle of the mobile phase, they'll be exposed to the atmospheric gases. So in addition to the offline degassing, like purging with the helium gas or nitrogen gas to remove the dissolved gases, the HPLC system is also having a degassing unit to ensure that there is no further transport of the trace quantity of the dissolved gases from the mobile phase. Otherwise, we'll get the unnecessary ghost peaks and guest peaks in our counter. And pump to flush the mobile phase, say 1 ml per minute or 1.5 ml per minute or 2 ml per minute, generally 0.5 to 2 ml is the range of mobile phase flow per minute. So, and between the pump and the column, there is a sample injection port where injection loop will be there. Generally, in manual case, 20 microliters is very common to use reodynode you can say injector. So generally, the injector like 25 microliters will use it if you want to take the only 20 microliters. So that the reason there will not be like air bubble or will be entered because of larger quantity you injected already. So there will be separation of the column, and after separation, after interaction with the stationary phase with the analyte along with the mobile phase, there will be some interaction. Once the interaction is happening based on the stationary phase, what you're going to use and what is the analyte nature, based on that, some interaction happening with the column and reaching to the detector and gives us a signal. That signal we are saying chromatogram, the output, because it is a chromatography, that is known as detector, that gives us chromatogram. So the outlet of this detector is going to the drain if it is analytical HPLC. If it is a preparatory HPLC, you are collecting as fractions. Like how traditional column chromatography in synthetic labs, how we are using the same way fraction collection is also possible here if the HPLC unit is bigger in size. Preparatory HPLC, the pump size is a little bit more, not 1 ml per minute, it may be 10 ml, 100 ml per minute for it. The column is not just 5 micrometer particle size, it may be 10 or 20 micrometer particle size. So then you need to collect this sample. That is for purification purpose. That is the difference between analytical HPLC and preparatory HPLC. So the fraction collectors can be taken and remove the solvent which is associated with that and mobile phase, and then use it for the structural elucidation. So you can see here in the right side, there are some connecting tubes. All these connecting tubes, so generally the stainless tubes, need to be washed perfectly before converting from one mode to another mode. Say, for example, I'm using water, that is reverse phase HPLC, but I want to convert into the normal phase, say hexane and other solvents. I need to use it. In that case, an intermediate solvent like isopropyl alcohol, which can able to remove the water content which is there in these lines. So flush with that isopropyl alcohol for some time, and then you can say it is converted, then you can start use from the reverse phase to the normal phase. So in that way, you need to flush the lines which are present if you are changing the mode from reverse phase to normal phase. So to understand in a better way, we'll look into the, we can look into this one modulated HPLC, so that we'll understand very easily what are the different components present in this. So here, this is the HPLC, we can say total unit. And this is a monitor, of course, computer. You can see here, if it is a PD detector, there are 4 different wavelengths you can see simultaneously, 1, 2, 3, 4. Say, for example, one is 210 nanometers, another one is 254 nanometers, another one is 330, another maybe like 254 like that. So you can able to see simultaneously different wavelengths depending upon the detector, what you're going to, that is known as photodiode array detector. Just if you want to develop the methodology, then unless you know the wavelength where you need to monitor, you cannot able to get the chromatogram. In that case, if you are using the PDA detector, then we'll get the chromatogram somewhere out of the 4 wavelengths selected. Or if you are knowing it by looking at the structure, you can predict and you can able to select that wavelength also. So this is the degasser down one, which is for the removal of dissolved gases in the mobile phase. And pump A and pump B, there are 2 pumps. Say, for example, flow rate is 1 ml per minute if you're giving, and one is pump A consists of water and pump B consists of methanol, and I'm saying 50-50. So 0.5 ml from the A and 0.5 ml from the B will be taken by these pumps, and there will be a mixture behind that, these pumps, and able to flush 1 ml together by mixing these 2 fractions, 0.5 ml from the methanol and 0.5 ml from the water, and that will be flushed towards this column. This is union actually, you can keep here, you can remove this union for the washing purpose, we kept here union. You can remove this and keep here column. So I will show the figures of the columns also. And this is the rheodynamic injector. If it is a manual, we kept here both the auto sampler and manual to understand it better for the demonstration purpose. This is a rheodynamic. If you can inject, it is fixed loop will be there, 20 microliters or 10 microliters. You can always remove and keep this rheodynamic wall. And of course, based on that, you can inject. Otherwise, it is an auto sampler like this, then you can inject the quantity of the injection volume like 1 microliters to say, depending upon the capacity, maybe 100 microliters or more than that also. So this is the detector top side that is consists of both the deuterium and tungsten lamp. Deuterium lamp is for the UV visible range and the tungsten lamp is for the visible range. So deuterium for the UV range and the tungsten is for the visible range, 200 to 400 and 400 to 800. That is the two different lights will give different wavelength range. So this reservoir top of this is for the injector to wash, the auto sampler to wash, rinsing solution we can say. So you can keep, because one there should not be contamination, should not be carried forward from one injection to another injection. That's the reason you need to use this flush your injector once it is completed, this auto sampler. In case of manual, anyway, you will inject a blank sample in between and wash the rheodynamic in load position. There is a two position. One is load, another is injector mode. So load position is top and injector position is down. So load position you have to keep and inject your sample, say for example 20 microliters. Once that is injected there, then just down side rotate it to align with the line of the mobile phase flowing towards this column. So in that way, you can operate this instrument. So this is the like column, generally 25 centimeters of length will be there, and 4.6 is internal ID for this column, and 5 micrometer is a particle size. Of course, different dimensions of the columns are available for different purposes. Say for example, UPLC column you are taking into consideration, that may be less than 2 micrometers, say particle size. Length of the column is generally 10 centimeters or 5 centimeters, even sometimes 2 centimeters, and columns are also there depending upon the requirement. And of course, the say this is like a dumbbell, right? This is bigger in size. That is for preparative purpose, purification purpose. You can inject larger quantities there and purify it and go for the say structural elucidation and the quantity you can supply. So that is known as preparative LC. This is the chromatogram, how it looks. So x-axis and y-axis, x-axis is retention time, y-axis is a signal you can able to see here. So that is the chromatogram, how it looks, a typical chromatogram. This looks like this. So if it is a manual injector, it's like this, say 25 microliters injected you take, and for the injection of the 20 microliters. So that is if it is a manual injector, if you are using it. So chromatographic categories based on the purpose. So you can classify like this. One is known as analytical. Analytical is majorly for the identification purpose. You are injecting your standard, followed by sample, and area of the standard comparing with the sample area, and say calculating it. That is, say 98% or 95% is present. That is known as analytical HPLC. That is the purpose of analytical HPLC. So, like 5 micrometer particle size, 25 centimeters or 15 centimeters length column is commonly used in case of analytical HPLC. But your purpose is for purification, generally milligram to gram, that is semi-preparative 10 micrometer, 20 micrometer particle size columns are there. Those are useful for preparative purification purpose. So it is a preparative grams to kilograms, and for example, manufacturing quantities, you want to use, I will show one example like simulated moving weight chromatography, where you can use larger quantities to separate. Some of the compounds may not be purified in lab or synthetic process. In that case, you have to purify by using chromatography techniques to get the purified drug substance. That also we'll try to see. So particle size plays an important role to choose whether in case of analytical or preparative. So in case of analytical, 5 micrometers, 3 micrometers, up to micron particle size are very common. 5 micrometer, 2 micrometer are very common with general HPLC. If it is up to micron, that is for the UPLC, ultra high performance, UHPLC or generic name, and UPLC means ultra performance chromatography. So you can use that terminology. So that is for the 5 to sub 2 micron particle size. In case of chiral, even 10 micrometer column are also used in analytical case, but generally 10 and 20 micrometer particle size columns are also for preparative purposes or purification purposes. So in case of general C18, hydrophobic interaction theory is very common. So based on the interaction, one is weaker interaction, another is a strong interaction. The strong interaction is eluting late and weaker interaction eluting first. So that is the common mechanism in case of general HPLC, that C18, where column reverse phase HPLC, what you're using it. So if you go to cross section, for example, C8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain length is there. So this is TMS trimethylserine, that is known as end capping. Leftover residual cell loss will be blocked with this TMS, and other chains are actual we can say selectors or bonded phases. So once you're injecting your sample with the mobile phase will be associated with that, and of course some interaction with the stationary phase is also happening. This is known as hydrophobic interaction. The long chains will try to interact with these long chains of the stationary phase. After some time, one after another, the analytes are eluted out. So that is the selectivity is different for different analytes. That is about HPLC. In case of GC, so in case of HPLC, what we say that both mobile phase as well as stationary phase, both are interacting. So that is the reason we say selectivity is very good. But in case of GC, we are using mobile phase gas, generally helium, so inert gas or nitrogen, whatever it may be, inert gas, so it will not interact. It's not having interest to interact with the analyte. Just it is flushing, just helping to flush the mobile analyte. And the stationary phase need to interact. That's the reason the length of the column is more in case of GC when compared to the HPLC. HPLC is 25 centimeters, but GC is 25 meters, centimeters to meters. So, and it will spirally rotated and kept inside in a oven to maintain temperature. Of course, you know that GC is working as a distillation principle. By increasing the temperature, the analytes get separated. So, but the selectivity is good in GC because of the very lengthy column, good interaction with the stationary phase. Gas is the mobile phase. That's the reason you'll get the shock for nice peaks in gas control. That is the general difference between the GC and the HPLC. Of course, we are coming back to the again HPLC. So widely used column is C18, octadecylserine. So you can count here the number of carbons present here is 18, C18. So the sample will interact very strongly in this case. If you are using, for example, C8, so you don't want to have runtime more, for example, 30 minutes you're getting in case of using C18. You want to reduce the runtime. There is no number of compounds more. In that case, you have started using C8. So the length of the column here is only 8 carbon length, and you will get here only instead of 30 retention time. Now we are getting the maybe just 20 or 15 retention time because the interaction time is reduced here. So the shorter runtime. So you can use these shorter columns, means carbon chain length shorter columns, when there is no interference from the other molecules present in your sample matrix. Or molecular weight is more, say peptides and all, then you need to use the less interaction for peptides or proteins or something like that. Then you can use some columns which are less interactive. So like a weak interaction with C4, then you will get the further less runtime. So that is general fundamental. That doesn't mean that it is always work with all the compounds. So we'll take one example here. This is phenol and substituted phenol, methyl group, isopropyl group, all these are there. So in this case, if you say the interaction is more with the substituted phenol when compared to the phenol. So that the reason elution of the phenol is first when compared to the next one. So interaction is more, so elution is late. So in that way, hydrophobic interaction theory works. So based on the stationary phase, what you're going to use. So amino column is basic interactions, C18 hydrophobic interactions, like this. These details are available with the computer of EA about what are different interactions takes place with the different chemistries of the columns. So that is about the general RP-HPLC or normal phase HPLC, which is commonly used for the achiral compounds to get separated. Now we'll talk something about the chiral chromatography to understand more about the concept of chirality. So chiral column was taken, there will be silica gel, the chiral selector, it was attached to the silica gel. Now it is chiral column. So once you are injecting the enantiomeric pair and racemic pair, then it will be interacted with this chiral selector very effectively. Another one is not that much effectively interacting. That the reason one is eluted first for another one. So that the way it will be separated. So go to the literature and see what is the importance of chiral chromatography. So in 1999, 40% occupancy is there for chiral HPLC. Coming to 2012, more than 70%, and even SFC is also gaining some popularity. So step by step, we can see there is a larger people are using the chiral HPLC or chiral columns to ensure that chiral purity of the substance. Asymmetric synthesis and all, if you're doing it, you need to use this chiral stationary phase to find the purity of the chiral compounds. So again, go to literature and see what are the different chiral stationary phases maybe available same market. So Berkel type is one, known as brush type, and polysaccharide is another one, and macrocyclics like cyclohexene, glycopeptides, and the chiral ethers, all these are macrocyclic, bigger in size. And ligand exchange type and the protein type, so these are 5 different categories of chiral stationary phases which are available. Out of this, so we can see only polysaccharide stationary phases are having good loadability. What is the use of this loadability? Just instead of separation, I want to get the purification also for preparatory HPLC, then the loading capacity must be more. So that's the reason I think polysaccharide stationary phase is gaining a lot of popularity when compared to the other chiral stationary phases, because it is not only suitable for the analytical purpose, and it is also suitable for preparatory purification purpose. So in that also we can see polysaccharide stationary phases derivatives. So one is cellulose based, another is amylose based. So alpha glycosidic linkage known as alpha bonding and beta bonding, there are 2 types of bonding is there. So the cavities are more in this amylose, which is 1,4-glycosidic linkage when compared to cellulose type. So that is the difference, basic difference, but both are having their own importance. And of course, we can say amylose slightly a little bit more dominating compared to the cellulose because of this cavities present. There is a chance to have more interaction in addition to the other interactions. What are the other interactions we'll try to see in the coming slide? So we can see here polysaccharides are also increasing more than 92%. So from 1999 to 2012, you see the literature, because review articles are available during that period, and we can see from that data, and we can see more than 94% is occupied by the polysaccharide stationary phases. What are the mechanisms, chiral separation mechanism involved in this? So either amylose, cellulose attached with the phenyl carbonate. This is phenyl carbonate known as selector, chiral selector. What are different interactions generally takes place? This is pi electrons. This pi electrons, if your analyte is also having the pi electrons like aromatic ring, then pi interactions takes place. Okay, so this oxygen is trying to interact with hydrogens present on the analyte. That is hydrogen bonding. Otherwise, nitrogen consists of hydrogen in this phenyl group. This is also trying to interact with the electronegative atom like oxygen and nitrogen present in analyte. That makes also hydrogen bonding. Or dipole interactions, the oxygen, so trying to shift the electrons towards oxygen, electronegativity atom. Here, other side will be positive. So positive, negative, known as dipoles. This dipoles and this dipoles trying to interact. So these are the different type of interactions are possible. So sometimes one molecule have more than 1 or 2 interactions. That makes it one enantiomer having more that type of interaction when compared to another enantiomer. That the reason separation happens with the enantiomers. So here, as we mentioned previously, polysaccharide stationary phases are like both the amylose and cellulose type. So amylose is like this, 1,4-glycosidic linkase, and cellulose is with the beta 1,4-glycosidic linkases, axial and equatorial difference you can observe here. So this R group can be replaced with the different chiral selectors. Here, what are different chiral selectors? We can see phenyl carbamate. So this phenyl group can be substituted with methyl groups or chlorine group, say adjacent to each other or with a difference of 3,5. So all these are given different names. So 3,5-dimethyl known as alpha IA. So 3,5-dichloro known as IE. So monochlorinated here phenyl group maybe 3 substituted, that is ID. So like this, like a 3-methyl and 3-chloro and 5-methyl, that is IA. So like that, different stationary phases made it available. So dimethylated cellulose base. So amylose base is known as IA and cellulose base is known as IB. So the ring attached to this phenyl carbamate or base material which is attached to this phenyl carbamate is amylose in case of IA, cellulose in case of IB. Like that, based on the chiral selector, because a small minute difference in substitution differently make different chiral selectivity. So that's the reason these are all available commercially to have different separations. So that is the story about the chiral stationary phase. And once you are having the chiral stationary phase with you, what are the operation conditions you need to adapt? So known as normal phase, one mode, another is reverse mode. These two are known to us during our practice, even general HPLC purpose. Normal phase is generally, say for example, non-polar solvent, majorly hexane, and polar organic solvent like ethanol or methanol or isopropyl alcohol, that is normal phase mode. The reverse phase is, so instead of hexane, say polar organic solvent, so that will be replaced with water totally. So 60 to 70% water, remaining organic solvent will be there, like polar organic solvent, nothing but methanol or acetonitrile or isopropyl alcohol or acetonitrile, that is reverse phase. So polar mode is exclusively you are using polar organic solvents like methanol, acetonitrile, isopropyl alcohol or ethanol, that is known as polar mode, not using any aqueous or non-polar organic solvent like hexanes, that is known as polar mode. Next one is helic mode. So you are introducing some portion like the water, 5%, 10%, maximum 20% like that. Remaining will be polar organic solvent like either acetonitrile or methanol or isopropyl alcohol or ethanol, that is helic mode. So then it will be compacted with LCMS and you can do ionization betterly and you will get the, so helic mode separation is required some case. SFC is another mode known as SFC.
Sir, excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Last 2. Yes, sir. Sir, last 2 minutes, sir. Is progress for conclusion.
How much?
Hello,
how much?
sir.
How much
Sir,
time
2
left?
minutes. 2 minutes.
How many?
Sir, 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'll try to finish. Yeah. So,
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. I'll try to finish in next few minutes, and so this is different modes of different modes of separation like that. It is possible. So if you are using the CO2 in place of non-polar organic solvent, that is known as supercritical period chromatography, which is majorly used for the purification purposes. So in these columns also you have the 5 micrometers and 3 micrometers. Generally 3 micrometers use more efficiency when compared to the 5 micrometers. So you can see here the separation differences, which is not separated very well in case of 5 micrometers. You can use 3 micrometers and you will get the better resolution. So even sub 2 micron particle size columns, which are like UPLC based, in that case within less than 1 minute, seconds, you can see able to get the separate enantiomer way. So like this simulated moving bed chromatography, which is for the larger quantities you want to separate. So like there are like different columns are serially connected, and you are keeping some solvent in one of the column, and feed means the sample to be separated on another column, and one is eluted extract, another is eluted as a raffinate. So like this, the larger scale separations is also possible with this type of columns, and able to get the purified fractions of parallel chromatography like this. We can go for the impurity profiling, generally using general C18s, C8 or phenyl columns. So if you are using, for example, chiral stationary phases for the chiral impurity separation, you can use the analytical purpose. And if it is for the toxicity studies, minor quantities, that is for purification. So that is a clinical purpose, you can do it. That is semi-preparative and preparative purposes. If it is not separated very well during synthetic process, you can use even at production level also to have the purified samples at the production. This is one, just I want to give some information about the impurity profiling, as well as focusing something more about the chiral chromatography some extent. Thank you very much for your patience, and Prashanti madam, and I finish here this lecture for the impurity profiling of drugs and pharmaceuticals. Thank you very much.
Sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Jeevan Jyoti ma'am to propose vote of thanks to today's guest speaker, Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar sir.
Thank you,
Over
madam.
to you, Jyoti ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I feel privileged to propose vote of thanks to Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar Talluri, Head AR&D and Knowledge Management, Diesel Chiral Technologies, Hyderabad. Sir, thank you very much for giving a fantabulous and highly informative lecture on emerging analytical techniques and trends in pharmaceutical industry. Sir in his lecture explained about the importance of analytical technologies in pharmaceutical industries. He also explained about the validation of analytical procedures, which is an important part of registration application for a new drug. Sir also explained about the working model of HPLC and its components, recording of chromatogram. So he also explained about the objectives of different chromatographic categories, importance of particle size for preparative and analytical HPLC, separation mechanism, polysaccharide derived CSPs, difference of selectivity between HPLC and GC, new generation immobilized chiral selectors, chiral chromatographic elution models, superficial fluid chromatography, and large scale SMB technologies. Sir, it's a very great and informative lecture for all of us. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Over to you,
Thank
ma'am.
you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Now it's my pleasure to propose a vote of thanks on this webinar on recent trends in science and technology. I feel it's my privilege to propose a vote of thanks. First of all, I'd like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Gopal Reddy, sir, and respected Registrar, sir, Professor Krishna Rao, sir, and Head of the Departments, Dr. Jeevan Jyoti, ma'am, RBVRR Women's College, and Dr. D. Ramesh, sir, Head Department of Chemistry, Mahatma Gandhi University, and Principals Dr. J. Achita Devi, ma'am, and Kavita, ma'am, Vice Principal, and Dr. Annapurna, ma'am, Principal, University College of Science, Mahatma Gandhi University, and Professor Sudarshan Reddy, sir, Secretary and Correspondent of Reddy Women's College, and Professor Mutyam Reddy, sir, former Registrar of Mahatma Gandhi University and Secretary HMBS. And today's guest speakers, Dr. B.V. Sharda, ma'am, Scientist Chef from ASEA, Hyderabad, and Dr. M.V. Narendra Kumar, sir, Thaluri, Head, Diacell Chiral Technologies. Thank you very much, sir. And it's my great and sincere thanks to all my beloved students, Department of Chemistry and Pharmaceutical Chemistry of Mahatma Gandhi University, and Department of Chemistry of Reddy Women's College, Narenguda, Hyderabad. Thank you once again. Thank you for your valuable participation. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form to get the e-certificates. Thank you so much.
Sir, thank you, ma'am, and thank you, sir. Sir, I have a small question.
Oh, finally. Okay.
Sir,
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Sir, I'm
Yeah.
from Mahatma Gandhi University, Organic Department of Organic Chemistry, second year. I'm Charan, sir.
Yeah. Charan, please.
Sir, I have a question from the difficult parameters are typical in HPLC, sir. When I am using the plate theory of distribution constant regimes, the absorption isotope to be linear. However, most solute exceed the Langmuir type of absorption, sir, between the stationary and mobile phase. What is the function of this, sir? And why we are not using the linear type of parameters and non-linear type of parameters in isocratic illusion, sir? Thank you, sir.
Yeah, I think I forgot to mention about the difference between the linear, isocratic and gradient. So the isocratic is one where the mobile composition is prefixed. Say, for example, in chemistry labs, so they will mix the mobile phase, say hexane and say ethanol, for example. Hexane and ethyl ester generally they use it, right? So hexane, say for example, 60% and 40%. That is ethyl ester. So that is they will use that mobile phase throughout the run. So that is known as isocratic. So once in case of HPLC, there is a provision to change the composition during the run. So for example, initially 5 minutes, I can use 10% of say ethyl acetate and remaining 90% hexane. Next 10 minutes, 30% of ethyl acetate and remaining 70% hexane. So maybe another next 10 minutes, I can go to 90% of ethyl acetate and remaining 10% is hexane. That is known as gradient mode of analysis. So in that way, even the difference in the polarity of the compounds, which generally takes larger time to elute, will be minimized by using the gradient programming. So isocratic is the composition is prefixed, and the gradient, if the number of compounds are more with a different polarity, in that case we use say gradient mode of analysis. In that way, you can finish your run shorter time when compared to the isotropic mode. So in addition to that, the part is like linearity is generally, it functions like Beer-Lambert's law will say. So once you are injecting a concentration, so once you change the concentration, the response will be changed linearly. So that is a Beer-Lambert's law, we can say. Say 5 ppm, 10 ppm, say 20 ppm, 30 ppm, or 40 ppm, like this, different concentrations you are taking. So that you are giving as a one line known as linear graph. So the regression equation must be 0.995 or 99999 like that. So near to 1, that is expected, means it is linear. So within that range of concentration, you can able to work. It is different for the different analytes, which is following the Beer-Lambert's law. That is, one is following up to 1000 ppm, another may be following up to 100 ppm, another may be following only 200 ppm. So the reason during method development process, what is the linearity? What is the linearity required for your analysis based on the doses bound, what is going to analyze? That is also part. So during your process of method development, you need to fix. So what is your target concentration? How many times there is a possibility of difference to happen based on your manufacturing process? You can fix that as a center point. Remaining plus or minus can be within that range. So that the reason you can able to measure even the concentration is below or above to that. So in that way, the linearity will be fixed. So that the reason validation is one where it will be ensured that all will be coming in that line or not. You can able to verify. Hope I think I given the practical way of answering your question, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Yes. Once again, thank you for all the participants and dignitaries and resource persons on this platform. Thank you. So we are going to conclude. Yeah, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, we can leave there. Yes.
Okay, ma'am. I'll just wait for 5 more minutes, ma'am. Let them fill the feedback, and after that, I'll stop.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Narendra Kumar, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, Prashanti ma'am. Thank you, Narendra sir and Shara. Thank you, Jyoti ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prashanti, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Kavita ma'am. Thank you, Lachita ma'am. Thank you, Jivan Jyoti ma'am. And please convey our thankfulness to Sirs ma'am, Sudarshan Reddy sir and Mutyam Reddy sir ma'am for
Yes,
giving a
ma'am.
wonderful opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.